A warm welcome to the learning portal of Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Let's start with further study of operating system. Before I introduce you to the content, I'll request you to kindly go through the previous presentation of this chapter. In today's video lecture, we will cover the following topic: features of Windows 98, Windows NT and Linux, components of operating system, what is system call, services of operating system. So let's begin. Features of Windows 98. Windows 98 is an operating system developed by Microsoft as a part of its Windows 9X family. It is a successor to Windows 95 and was released to manufacturing on May 15, 1998. Microsoft had added many features to this version to get it commercially accepted. Some of the highlighted features are: it was easier to use due to the following points. It was single-user multitasking operating system. Navigation among different folders was easy in Windows 98. File can be opened with single click. It also provided facilities of opening multiple monitors with a single screen. New hardware can be easily installed in Windows 98. It also supported digital camera and digital imaging devices. The second feature of Windows 98 is that it was faster compared to its older version like Windows 95. Also, it was easy to maintain. Moving on to the next feature of Windows 98, true web integration. Microsoft has integrated Internet Explorer in Windows Explorer. So, internet connection became easy. Web pages can be viewed easily now. There were many new features added to it like Microsoft Outlook Express, email, etc. Also, it facilitated internet conferencing. The last feature is that Windows 98 was more entertaining compared to the older version of operating system because it supported DVD and digital audio, and even it started with television broadcasting. Moving to the next operating system, features of Windows NT. Here NT stands for New Technology. Windows NT was first 32-bit operating system and was released in year 1993. It was first advanced version of Microsoft product. Windows NT is multi-user, multitasking and multi-threading. We have already learned about this concept in part 1. Windows NT can run multiple operations with faster response. It supported virtual memory management, where virtual memory is a memory management capability of an operating system that uses hardware and software to allow a computer to compensate for physical memory shortages by temporarily transferring the data from RAM to disk storage. We will learn this in detail in a further PPT. It is 32-bit operating system. It's the first operating system to use NTFS, that is New Technology File System. New Technology File System helps you to store, organize and find files in efficient way. It also implements fault tolerance, security and support for large files. Windows NT also supports symmetric multiprocessing. Features of Linux. Linux is a family of open source Unix operating system. It is best known and most used open source operating system. Programmer loves to work on Linux environment. These are some of the features of Linux operating system. It is multi-user operating system with a full set of Unix tools. It is portable and runs on wide variety of platforms. It can run efficiently even on 4 MB of RAM. It is useful for both programmer as well as users. It supports wide variety of application. It's a freeware software, so it's free of cost. It obeys Unix semantics or command. Our next topic is components of Linux operating system. If you see the diagram, Linux operating system has primarily 3 components, that is kernel, system library and system utility. We'll focus on each component in detail. What is kernel? Kernel is a core part of Linux. It is responsible for all major activities of the operating system. It consists of various modules and it interacts with the underlying hardware. Kernel provides the required abstractions to hide low-level hardware detail or application program. So basically, kernel acts as a brain of an operating system which carry out all the services. The next component is system library. System library are special functions or programs using which application programs or system utilities access kernel's feature. These libraries implement most of the functionalities of the operating systems and do not require kernel's module code access right. The last component is system utility. These programs are responsible to do specialized individual level tasks. Some of the utilities are system software. The programs which comes under this is disk formatting program, Windows, Mac, etc. User processes like XII, Firefox. User utility like antivirus, file compression software or data security software. And compilers like Turbo C++, Petnik C or BlueJ. Our next topic is system call. What is system call? System call provides an interface to the services made available by an operating system. Before knowing in detail about system call, you should know the mode of operations. There are 2 modes of operation in which program executes. One is user mode and the second one is kernel mode. What is user mode? User mode is a mode wherein program executes in a safer mode, but it do not have direct access to memory and hardware resources. Whereas kernel mode is a direct access mode or a privileged mode wherein you have an access to memory and hardware resources. But there is one problem with kernel mode. If a program executes in kernel mode, there is a chances of a system to crash. So because of it, due to the safety reason, most of the program executes in user mode. But when it executes in this user mode, it need to have access to the resources. So when a program needs access to these resources, it gives a call to operating system that I need to access to certain resources. So for an instant, the program is switched from user mode to the kernel mode so that it can use those resources. When program switches from user mode to kernel mode or from kernel mode to user mode, it is called context switching. The call made by the program to access those resources is called system call. In other words, I can say that system call is a programmatic way in which a computer program requests for a services from the kernel of operating system. Programs of system calls are written in assembly language. System call can be used in different way as it can allow calls made directly from a higher level program. It can use C, C++, Perl to allow system calls directly. Fortran allows set of library routines for a system call. There is one example of system call. If an application program uses a sequence of setting for system call, what are those system call then? It can prompt a message on a terminal application program, or it can read from an application program. So there are n number of system calls for every task what you perform on the computer. We will learn in detail about different system call in further PPTs. So here we come to our next topic. Operating system divide its services or call into three main areas. That is information management, that is IM, process management, PM, and memory management, that is MM. All this works in coordination with each other to carry out tasks. So let's highlight on each area and its system call. What is information management? Information management provides facilities to store, retrieve, modify, and remove the information on various devices. These system services manage the organization of information into files and directories by allocating memory space to them. It also ensures that correct program have access to information. It occupies memory space and also various devices. So here are some system calls of information management. What are the services offered by information management? Creating a file, opening a file from read or write purposes, closing a file, writing data from buffer to file, creating a link in a file, creating a directory or exploring a directory, reading data from file to buffer memory, moving file pointer on the computer, or changing working directories. The next area of operating system is process management. What is process management? In multi-user operating system, a number of users located at different terminal of a network may execute same or different program at a time. But such a computer system has only one CPU and it can execute only one instruction belonging to any one of these programs at the same time. Process management of operating system keep track of all running programs called processes, schedule them and dispatch them one after the other. While doing so, it gives an impression to each user that it has full control of the CPU. The process management module of single user operating system are less complicated than multi-user operating system. What are the system call or services of process management? Read a process, resume a process, suspend a process, change the priority of a process, block a process, terminate a process, delay a process, or generate a new process. The last main area of operating system is memory management. When a job is to be executed, the operating system loads the job in main memory from disk. But before loading it in the memory, it should know that how much of free memory is available and how much of memory should be allocated to that job. For this, operating system keeps list of all free memory location. Before a program is loaded in memory, the operating system consults with this list. It loads the program into the memory and modifies the list. When the program is executed completely, it removes the program from the main memory and again modify the list. For this, operating system determines memory allocation policy and uses various techniques and algorithms to achieve this. This is memory management. What are the services offered by memory management? There are two services, that is to allocate chunk of memory to the process and to deallocate chunk of memory from the process. We will learn about these three main areas of operating system in our upcoming video lectures. Before I sign off for this video lecture, let's focus on board questions. What is system call? List any two system calls for memory management, process management, and information management. What is system call? How it is used? How does an application program use these calls during execution? What are the components of Linux operating system? What are the three main areas in which operating system divides its services? What is information management? List the system calls in it. What is process management? List the system calls in it. What is memory management? List the system call in it. Also, there are questions on features of Windows 98, Windows NT, and Linux. Thank you. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Love and peace from TVM family.